Welcome to This One's On Me, where I, Snedladla, invite you to come and be a part of other people's lived experiences. Today's story is that of TV producer Kopano, whom one day was so stressed out that they decided to go and release the tension at a local massage parlor, only to get the full package. Kopano, do you want to tell us more?
Here's a cute little funny story about what happened to me a couple of weeks ago. I used to work for a big corporate, in a contracts department. And it was hectic and tense, and there's large volumes of work, and I used to come in before the sun and sometimes leave after the sun set, right? And I got really anxious. And someone said, why don't you try having a massage? It'll help you, you know? And so I thought, okay, fine. You know, I've had a few massages in my life, you know, usually paid for by employers, but I'll pay for this massage, okay? So I decided I'm gonna go have a Thai massage. This becomes a normal thing. And I do it for when I'm stressed, when I'm anxious. I do it for lady problems, because at some point in the month, your body is doing things you don't understand. I do it for when I'm like just recovering from a cold. It helps. It's like amazing for all kinds of things. So I become a Thai massage fiend, you know. My ex-husband used to kind of say when we'd had a fight, well, it's time for you to have a Thai massage. And by the way, I divorced that one. So here I am, 8 years later or whatever, and I'm doing this show, right? And I produce TV. But I'm doing this show about trans people. And it's the first of its kind, I'd say, in South Africa. And we live in a continent that's not really accepting of the LGBTIQA+ community. So we jump onto the show and we meet these really amazing characters, right? 2 trans men and 2 trans women. So we do this show and we get into the end of the season, and I mean, so there's certain things in TV production that can really have you reeling. You know, a client's not happy, or you plan to shoot this much content, but it doesn't complete the episode. And, you know, so towards the end, things got really rough. And I decided, I'm gonna have a Thai massage today. I'm gonna have a Thai massage. Because, you know, we're almost at the end, and a celebratory Thai massage. But I had moved from the area where I used to live, and I've moved to another area. And I'm like, I'm gonna try this new place, because I drove by there a few times on my way to work. So I get there, and there's a woman who's running the place. She's also a Thai lady, speaks very good English, so we communicate. And I'm like, this is how I like my Thai massages. And she's like, I've got the perfect person for you. So she brings out 3 ladies, and it was kind of strange, because usually they just tell you who's gonna massage you. You don't get to choose, right? So I think, okay, I'll choose. And there's this really like nice looking older lady, like in her late 40s. She's beautiful, she's older, and I'm like, she can handle all this stuff that she's gonna see. It's cool. You basically get naked, right? Because you just left in your underwear.
Oh.
And so this Thai woman walks in and says, you take this off, you just leave this. I'm naked, and now here comes this woman. And the way they do Thai massages, there are 2 ways, right? One is aromatherapy, which is a normal oil massage. Then there's a thing called a traditional Thai massage, where they really get in there and they like get into the pressure points and the joints and all of that. And there's a portion of the massage where they get on the bed with you, right? So they're trying to get onto certain points in your back, and they're trying to really get in there. So they use the weight of their body to make sure that they can, you know. So I walk in and I do the thing, take off my clothes, blocking off all the thoughts that are going, are you crazy getting naked in front of someone else like this? I'm cool. She comes in, her English is like decent, you know? So we're talking, and I'm like, yeah, I like, you know, my massage is medium to hard. You know, I can handle it if you go a little bit heavy. She goes, cool. And so she's doing the part of the massage. So they start at your feet and they do the pressure points. And she's now on the bed with me, because there's the part where she has to kind of lean in. And I'm lying there and I'm like, there's something that I'm feeling from this woman. And I feel something. And I'm like, this doesn't feel right. What is this thing? Okay, and I go, maybe it's just me. The second time I feel it, I'm like, okay, this is definitely a package. So I'm naked in front of this man-woman person, and I'm not sure what to do. So now I'm getting more tense by the minute, right? That's more and more tense. And I'm sitting there going, it's got breasts and it looked like a woman to me. So now, what am I dealing with? Oh my God. The third time I felt the package, she was right on top of me. And I was like, okay, I'm having sex with a trans person. That's what's happening right now. I'm in a sexual situation with a trans person, and this is, So a few things go through my mind. I'm like, okay, you're doing a show with trans people and you've journeyed with them for months. You understand their struggles, which is I'm just a normal person. Just because my body parts and my sexual organs don't seem to be the same as yours or normal, I'm just a person. I'm here to do a job. She probably has a family in Thailand that she's supporting off of this. So I'm sitting there going, okay, calm down, don't freak out, By the time she got to the very top of my back, the fourth time I felt the package, I was like, oh my God, it's a full package, the whole thing. It's got the thing and all the things. And she says, you okay, ma'am? And I'm like, I'm just like, oh, well, I'm fine. And all kinds of things are going through my mind. So here's the thing. If you do a show about people and you spend time in their shoes, there's lots of things you learn that you may not have known had you not met them. The people that went through my mind were the 4 participants of this show, and I thought to myself, if it was one of them just making a living. So I had to kind of sit there and go, this is not a sexual thing. This is not someone who put me on a bed and got naked and proceeded to be sexual with me, right? And all of this is happening in the 1 hour that I paid a hell of a lot of money for just trying to relax, right? And I was sitting there and I'm like, I'm not going to have a moment with this woman. I'm not going to point her out, and I'm not going to ridicule her or do the things that a normal person might have done. Because I decided in that moment, the universe brought trans people into your life for a learning, right? And once I relaxed and stopped thinking of it as a sexual moment, I actually had one of the best Thai massages of my life. She really, really, really is good at what she does. And now, a few weeks later, I'm contemplating going back because I think if you get past the things in your mind, most things are not as bad as you think they are. So that's basically it. That's my story.
Well, talk about a happy ending. Question is, since now that you know about the full package, will you go again? Well, thank you for joining us for another episode of This One's on Me. Until next time.